You're listening to the Lord. Hallelujah.
G'day everyone and welcome to another edition of Craig's Kitchen Conversations. I want to talk to you about a very powerful tool that can assist us with our traffic problems because the congestion is ridiculous. So, how do we stop that? Well, first we've got to get control of Auckland transport. How do we do that? Well, there are two powerful tools that are not being used inside Council. Council creates a bunch of committees to oversee certain aspects of city maintenance and operations. The Mayor sets those committees. One of them is called the Appointments Performance Review Committee. Let me just grab the names of that. Oh, and by the way, Auckland Transport used to have two councillors on it with voting rights. Phil Goff took them off. Goff off. Took them away. With me, bang, they're straight back in there with voting rights. But listen to this committee list, which is the Appointments Performance Review Committee. Oh, before the names, this is what they do. They review the chief executive performance. They make appointments to the council-controlled organisations, the board, and they make recommendations on CCO accountability policies. Powerful committee. Who's on it? Josephine Bartley, Al Filipina, Richard Hills, Pippa Coombe, Chris Darby, Angela Dalton, Bill Cashmore. It is chaired by Phil Goff, and the deputy chair, the only person that I think there has common sense when it comes to sorting out the CCOs, is Christine Fletcher, and she will be outvoted every time. Pippa Coombe, Richard Hills, Darby. Yeah, I know. There's another committee which every councillor is on. It is chaired by Bill Cashmore, it is deputy chaired by Angela Dalton, and it is called the CCO Oversight Committee. Set the policy relating to CCO governance, approve the CCO statement of intent, track the CCO performance, and advise me, your next Auckland Mayor. So, we have the tools. Yes, there is legislation changes that I would like to discuss with legal teams and the councillors to try and get even more control back from Auckland Transport, but there are tools available to get Auckland Transport back under control. And what will that mean? It will mean we can then set the policies. We can start removing the unnecessary speed humps. We can make sure that ridiculous, nonsensical, unsafe cycleways and overpriced are not slapped around willy-nilly just for ideology over common sense. We make sure that these free turns, which used to let the traffic flow beautifully, are not completely swallowed up. In fact, some of them need to be put back in. We make sure that these ridiculous traffic islands that are being put in place to make two lanes into one lane just to slow you down and restrict your movement are ripped up and taken away. We also make sure that the speed humps that are being put in sensible places. Where do I think those are? Before a pedestrian crossing, not the pedestrian crossing. You slow down the traffic before the pedestrian crossing. You don't slow the traffic down after it's hit someone. Common sense decisions are required. The speed humps are also, and I want to go take my angle tools and measure them, I think they're over the official rules that they're meant to be. They're meant to be an angle and a drop down, but they're this, aren't they? We all know. Anyway, a lot of them have been put in places where they just shouldn't be, and they're purposely being wrapped up in a blanket of safety. That is wrong. You know, I know, they are put in places where there are no accidents, where there are no incidents, and they're not required. They're only put there to slow you down, create congestion, frustrate you, get you out of your car and into the inefficient public transport system. And I'm done. That's how I, as your mayor, will start to solve the problem of Auckland Transport. It's not an overnight fix. There are tools available. We can do it, but I need your help. Your help is getting me in the office, getting good councillors in the office, and bang, we start the new direction and new style of leadership and driving in Auckland City. Bye-bye for now. More later.